Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastobhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurus Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिस्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां ददाना हस्तेनैकेन पद्मं सितमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्ख स्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथ कीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम् नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः. Okay, so we'll continue. So last time, if you remember, Sita, Kaushalya gets to know about Rama's Vanavasa. Sita gets to know, and that's when Sita goes, tells Rama that I too want to follow you. At that time, Rama tells her about the difficulties that are there in the forest. It's not going to be very easy, but Sita still continues pestering Rama. So till here we had seen Sita, Sarga 29, Ayodhya Kanda. Sita still insists on going with Rama. Now here if you see, in short, what has been given is Sita says that living in the forest, if you are there around, it is not that difficult for me. So therefore, wherever you are, that only will be Ayodhya for me. This is what she tells. Further, now it seems that when Sita was, in fact, why you see in the Ramayana, if you see the character which stays in the forest for a long time was Sita. That was because it felt that there were Shakuni. There was something called Shakunam, not the Tamil Shakunam. And this Shakunam in Sanskrit means a sign. You can consider to be like a good sign. So it can be any sign. Mostly it's considered in a good way, like omen, how we say. So it seems that when Sita was after marriage, when they were coming back from Mithilapuri, that's in Nepal, till Ayodhya, at that time a few shaku birds were flying about here and there, and that's when they got a few signs. When she was young also, Sita, it seems that there were a few astrologers and priests who were there and who told that the girl, this princess, she will spend a lot of time in the forest because she will like staying in the forest and so on. And at that time it seems that she just told, in general she used to speak that I want myself and my children to not grow in the palace. I want them to grow in the forest around sages, around other, maybe in a hermitage. I want them to live a simple life. I want them to face the hardship so that they can always be very strong. They can face anything in life. So this was a wish of Sita which she made very randomly, but then that's how it turned out to be true. So that's what she says from verse 7 to 15 of the Ayodhya Kanda Sarga 29, wherein she prays and says that I want my children also to grow in the forest. I want to spend a lot of time among sages and lead a very simple life in the forest. So that is the reason why most of the life Sita spent in her forest. This is one part. Some people say that Sita, she was born out of Mother Earth, right? So that can also be one reason why she liked to spend a lot of time in nature or around nature. in the forest and so on. So like this, there are different differences. Of course, destiny has its own part to play, but this is one reason why Sita spent a major part of her life in the forest, and also why Lava and Kusha also grew up in the forest. Further, so therefore she said that living in the forest is not going to be difficult for me. In fact, that's my own wish. So it's just that destiny had to play and Kai had to do all this, and that's how I'm coming. But then apart from that also, it's my wish only to stay. She tells that, and then further Sita insists that I have to come with you. So she keeps on persuading Rama. Further, finally Rama could not help, and it says that in this Sarga 30, Sita, now whenever we feel that sometimes we feel, oh, Sita is a helpless character, she cannot do anything. In fact, Sita was one of those women. Even today, if we, among the list of Panchamaturaha, Panchamata or Panchakanya, Ahalya Draupadi Sita Tara Mandodari Tata Panchakanya Smare Nityam Mahapataka Nashanam. Ahalya Mandodari Sita, third one is Sita. We remember Sita amongst the list of 5 great women, Panchakanya. At this time what happens is, why is even Sita included here? And today all of us, we feel, right, we have to fight for Sita's rights. Rama did a lot of injustice with her. He sent her to the forest just under the name of Rajadharma, this, that. We sit and we become advocates for her. Sita doesn't need an advocate at all. Whenever she felt that something was going wrong, in fact in this Sarga 30, she raises her voice and she fights with Rama. Fights in the sense, she argues and she tells her, saying that just now I heard you telling our mother Kaushalya all her rights, right? You have to stay with your husband. He's the first one with whom you make like you come to this house and the first relation that you have is your husband and so on. And whatever he does, so therefore you stopped her from accompanying you to the forest because you said that wherever your husband is, you must stay there. Isn't this rule applicable for me? And so on, she starts arguing, and she fights for her rights. So basically it was not that Sita was a weak woman or she did not know to fight. If she wanted, later when Rama tells her to go to the forest. Now Rama directly does not tell her to go to the forest in the Uttarakanda. She herself hears through the Dutas and she feels that something which is causing trouble to my husband and the kingdom, that should not happen. And ultimately her own wish to send her children, she wants her children Lava and Kusha to grow in the forest, and that's how she ultimately lives there. So there, if she wanted, she could have fought, she could have argued, but she didn't do that. So because she felt that that is something right and her wish was also being fulfilled. So therefore there she doesn't fight, but here she raises her voice and she asks Rama. Finally Rama, he listens, he says, okay, you need not shout all this, you need not say all this, you can come along with me. So it is said that, I have not made this, but it is said that nobody can win over a woman in arguments. So ultimately, whenever there are a few men here, you may relate to this. Whenever the woman wants something to happen, she will persuade you in such a way that ultimately, how much ever the man stops, finally the man says, okay, you need not speak more, I listen to whatever you want to say, right? And this I have not written. In some of the commentaries it is said this is how the nature of man and woman is. It starts from Rama and Sita. Rama also had to give up. He says, okay, further let us not argue, you do whatever you want. So that's the reason why till date you see women speak a lot, men speak little less. So whatever is human nature, though we take it maybe in a lighter sense or so, in a humorous way we say okay. But then still, whatever happens around today, all this is quite compared to what Rama and Sita did then. Okay, so there further Sita questions him about why you don't want to take me and so on. I will live in the forest. If you don't do, I will end my life. This, that she tells. Further, Rama clarifies everything. He tells it's not that I don't want to take you along, but forest life is very difficult and so on. And in fact, at this age, when Sita was just around 17 or 18 years old. And later, now for this, does anyone know where the age of Sita is mentioned in the Ramayana? Has anyone read the original Ramayana? Where is the age of Sita mentioned in the Ramayana? Or is it even mentioned? Nobody should sleep. Therefore, I'm asking you some questions.
No, Lakshmi, just we had heard that Sita was only 6 years old when
at the time of marriage. That is fine.
married.
This is one thing. But there is another place wherein Sita herself tells her age.
6 or 8 years, ma'am, when she was getting married.
6.
6. Okay.
Yes.
And
So this reference, Sita herself tells Ravana in the Aranyakanda. All of you can read it for yourself. The Aranyakanda, Sita herself tells this to Ravana. And she tells her entire story. When she was being abducted, she tells her story to Ravana at that time, that you're doing such a grave sin and so on. And there she tells, at the age of 6 this happened, at the age of 18 this happened, I've accompanied my husband and so on. And today, now 13 years have passed. So 18 plus 13 you can calculate. So roughly now I'm about 31 years old. So this is how the age of Sita is calculated. She herself tells her age. Wherein later, in some references, of course, during her time of marriage, she was 6. But then ultimately later, at the age of 18, she is married off. She accompanies Rama to the forest, because for a few years they stay together. And that's when later in the Aranyakanda, when Ravana abducts Sita, at that time she tells all this to Ravana. All of you can read, I don't remember, I think it should be somewhere between 40 to 50, those sargas of Aranyakanda. Just read some few days back I came across it. So there you can read wherein Sita herself tells. Further, you also have even the incident of Jatayu coming in. So there are a few aspects of Aranyakanda later. Now the topic is Ayodhya Kanda, but still, because I'm just remembering, I am just telling you now. Jatayu also initially, now later Rama and Lakshmana, they go and meet Jatayu after his wings are cut off by Ravana. But initially also he tells about his clan. Before, Jatayu was a great friend of Dasharatha. So Rama, Lakshmana, Sita meet him beforehand. That's the reason Sita knows who it is. Otherwise she would have considered him also to be some Asura or demon, right? Because his form was quite fierce, a very big vulture. And there, at that time, the origin of species of birds, snakes, reptiles and so on, whatever creatures we see around today, that has been mentioned in the Ramayana. Jatayu himself tells his own lineage. I think in the Aranyakandam, the initial part only, this reference comes, wherein various species of animals that we see around today, that reference you find in the Ramayana. One more interesting aspect of the Aranyakandam is that the monkeys, when they get their jewels, when Sita throws down those jewels, usually in the story that we read in, we come to know that in the Kishkinda Kanda, when Rama and Lakshmana meet Sugriva, at that time the monkeys, they bring that small bag of jewels. They said that some lady had thrown, maybe it might be Sita's. But it is mentioned in the Aranyakanda only that when Ravana was taking away Sita, this reference is mentioned that Sita sees a few monkeys down there. She removes her upper garment, she ties a few jewels, she puts in and she throws. And all these monkeys, they take it, they see Sita and they go about. So this reference, though most of us we come to know only later, when the monkeys say that yes, we saw a lady who was doing this, it is not usually known before. But in the Ramayana, Aranyakandam, when Sita was being abducted, at that time itself this reference comes saying that Sita saw these monkeys along the Pampa river. So when she was passing about through Pampa, at that time she sees the monkeys who are sitting there, about a group of 4 to 5 monkeys. She throws her garments, they take it together, and that's how they move about. And after they cross over Pampa Nadi, so all the locations are also mentioned there, Pampa Nadi, Karnataka area. Then finally Ravana, he increases his speed, he doesn't stop anywhere, he crosses forests, mountains, rivers, everything swiftly and takes away Sita. So all this has been mentioned there. So therefore, minute details, for that you have to read the original Ramayana. Okay. So I just remembered a few things. I was just going through Aranyakandam, so whatever I remember, I just told. Okay. So let's continue. Further, Rama clarifies everything. He tells Sita that it's not that I don't want you to come to the forest, just it's a very, very difficult life. So the point that I was saying is, Sita, she was born, if you see, even in Mithila, she was born with all kinds of comforts. It is said in few of the commentaries that are written, even in the Valmiki Ramayanam, you have that under her feet, she never ever experienced roughness, it seems. Her feet were so, now all of us, you see your own feet, you'll not like to see it, right? So dirty. Or maybe even if you wash your feet also, I am saying under the feet. Most of us, if you say under our feet, usually it is always dirty, or maybe more than saying dirty, even if you are at home, you don't you look at look at your feet, you always say maybe some skin is worn out, or you can say that's not doesn't look very good, right? Because even though you're walking in the house, there's a lot of dust, dirt and so on. So usually that part of the body is always rough. Our feet is also always rough. You can touch your own feet and see, not now, later, you can see for yourself. And at that time, Therefore, this is human nature. The only part of the body which is quite rough that we consider. Now, most of our skins are also rough, but the part under our legs always remains rough because we are exposed to land, right? Now, if you walk with slippers or so, that is different. But in general, when we walk, so or how much ever you keep washing your feet, still after some point dust and it gets dirty. Sita's feet, it seems that it was soft as cotton. Even her under feet, that is there, Charana Padam that we say, that also was very soft because she was not exposed to anything from outside. She used to live in a palace. She had servants to serve her. So a very royal life. So she never had to expose herself and face dangers. In fact, later when they go to the forest also, when thorns keep pricking her, you can see blood oozing out of that. And all that reference comes in the Valmiki Ramayanam. You see those movies or so, serials, and that time you can make out. And every time Lakshmana, he pulls out the thorns from her leg, and he used to remove a garment from his own cloth and from his own upper garment and tie it around the feet of Sita. Just as whenever blood oozes, we apply some turmeric and we tie a cloth or so, right, to stop the blood flow. So this used to happen even with Sita, and even Rama and Lakshmana also, they also were royal princes, but at least they lived for some time along with Vishwamitra, and they were men. So men in the sense they lived in the Gurukula also for a few years. So they could be exposed. Physically they were a bit strong. Sita was not like that. So therefore Sita had to face a lot of hardships, but still she did not give up. And Lakshmana was the one who used to always serve her. In fact, whenever they used to walk in the forest also, just as Rama said, I will be in front, then Sita, and then Lakshmana you follow. So even her walking in the steps of the Dandaka forest used to be like she could not walk also properly, because now walking in a forest becomes very difficult. So they used to hold her and walk, and she used to take the support of trees and so on. So it was very difficult. So Rama could not, just by imagining, so Rama imagines all this and he could not bear to see his wife suffer. But then finally he agrees and tells Sita, okay, you can accompany us. अस्वाधीनं कथं दैवं प्रकारैरविराध्यते स्वाधीनं समतिक्रम्य मातरं पितरं गुरुम्. So here the greatness of one's mother, father and guru has been told. Matrudevo bhava, pitrudevo bhava, acharya devo bhava. Just as it comes in the Taittiriya Upanishad, same thing is told here, wherein all these three are before us. When we can worship them, there is nothing called God, right? Or you can say the concept of God doesn't come in. If you don't worship these three, you need not worship God at all. That doesn't mean that we don't worship God, but then some people, their own parents, they will not read properly. Your own guru, you don't read properly, and then you go and worship God, it's of no use. God will send you back, right? Just as he does with Dhruva. You cannot leave your own dharma and do something else. Dhruva, when he did tapasya, the 5-year-old boy, the Lord, he blessed him. He came in front of him. He told, I will give you an excellent position, but for now you go back. Take care of your kingdom, rule there. Ensure that you set up your kingdom. Your subjects are waiting for you. Your first duty is Raja Dharma. Then you come to me, I will surely give you a position. Dhruva goes back. So you imagine doing severe tapasya, standing on one foot, this, that, so much he did, one leg, he did not eat anything. The 5-year-old boy, months together he used to not do. All this reference comes in detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam and many other texts, where you have the Dhruva Charitam, wherein for first 1 week he does not eat, then he drinks water, then for the next 2 weeks he does not drink, then just on air he lives, and so on. Like this, there are a lot of things that are told, and ultimately, when he, in spite of doing such a ghora tapasya, as we say, difficult tapasya, still Vishnu comes, he tells, yes, I will bless you, but for now you go back. Your kingdom is waiting for you, subjects are waiting for you. So even if you have to worship me also, if you give up on your dharma, you leave everything and come, I am not going to bless you, go back. So imagine the plight of all of us. You sit at home and you expect the Lord to bless you. That is never going to happen. Only if we do our duties and responsibilities well, then the Lord will think, should I come and bless you? So this is something. So the same thing, even Rama, Sita also have a conversation. They say that when we have Dashratha here, Kaikeyi, Kaushalya, Sumitra here, Vasishtha here, whatever they tell, we have to listen. We don't have to fight for something. So let us do that first. यत्त्रयं त्रयो लोकाः पवित्रं तत्समं भुवि नान्यदस्ति शुभापाङ्गे तेनेदमभिराध्यते. These two have to be worshipped. So mainly there is none who are equal to these three in the whole world. So therefore nothing more pure and holy as this. Therefore all these three have to be worshipped. So the importance of worship has been told here. Na satyam danamanau va na yajñaschapta dakshinaha tata balakarasi te yata seva piturhita. Whatever you do, maybe you do a lot of sacrifices, you always speak the truth, or you do maybe you distribute gifts to the needy and so on, nothing out of this is considered to be equal than serving the father. Therefore I have to go to the forest as he has advised. Swargodhanam va dhanyam va vidya putra sukhani cha guruvritya nurodena dakinchidapi durlabham. Whatever the father says, if his wish is fulfilled, nothing is difficult to achieve. Heaven, wealth, food grains, learning, whatever it is. So this is my duty, I have to follow this. Devagandharva golokan brahmalokan sataparan prapnuvanti mahatmano mata pitraparayanaha. So this is a Phalashruti that is told of serving one's own parents. That is what devoted they attain by the realm of gods, Gandharvas, Goseva, Brahmalokam, Vishnulokam, Vaikuntham and so on. So therefore today whenever we see a lot of people who send their own parents to maybe old age homes, or many times you see that in your own house we see, right, sometimes we don't, grandparents are there also, we find our own parents, they don't treat them properly. So then the child also learns the same thing, and then he also behaves in the same way. So this should not be done. So this is like an eye opener which Rama tells in those times only. Next, Rama starts preparing to leave Ayodhya, and now Lakshmana comes into picture. Sahirajamidam prapya nrpasyashvapate sutta dukkhitanam sapatninam nakarishyati shobhanam. Now Lakshmana has again started speaking all this. He tells that now here you see Lakshmana, if you ever listen to his dialogues also, now see even here, Ashwapate Sutta. He doesn't even call Kaikeyi as his mother. Immediately his way of speaking changes. He calls her the daughter of King Ashwapati. Immediately when anger comes in, this is how we speak, right? So now there are many side stories for Lakshmana. What he speaks was, he tells that the king of Ayodhya and the daughter of Ashwapati, in some other conversations it is mentioned in the commentaries, Rama, first of all, he interrupts Lakshmana there. He says that before you speak anything further, I want to ask you something. Who is the king of Ayodhya? Who is the daughter of Ashwapati? Rama asks Lakshmana. Lakshmana tells, why are you asking all this? I am very angry. You need not question me. Lakshmana feels very insulted. He knew why Rama was asking. Rama said, whatever it is, you are angry or anger, it doesn't matter here. But then, still, you have no right to call your father as a king of Ayodhya and address your mother as a daughter of Ashwapati. Lakshmana clarifies that she is not our mother, he says. So then, mainly he doesn't talk only about himself, he talks about Rama also. She says, no, Kaikeyi is not our mother. If she was our mother, she would have never done this. Lakshmana says, I never asked you whether she is your mother, my mother, or she is not our mother. Whatever she does, that doesn't matter to you. And in fact, Lakshmana stoops to a point wherein he says that our father who is there, he doesn't even address father, the king of Ayodhya, he says. The king has come under the control of a woman, he has lost his mind, and that's the reason why he is doing all this. Stop your coronation, he is going to send you to the forest. Immediately Rama, he interrupts Lakshmana, he tells, if you're going to speak like this, from this moment onwards, I will break all ties with you. This was like death to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana immediately falls at the feet of Rama and he says that I will not speak such words anymore. So Rama says, for whatever may it be, you cannot speak like this. And if you speak like this, I'm not going to keep any relationship with you. And that's when Lakshmana, he stopped speaking. So it was all basically, it was just anger that he had, and something which was being very, what was happening was very wrong. So therefore Lakshmana was very angry, and he used to not at all like someone doing any wrong to Rama. So that's the reason why he speaks like this. So then he continues, he says, this daughter of Ashwapati, Kaikeyi, needs a control over the kingdom, and she is not going to even help our mothers, Kaushalya and Sumitra. Nabarishyati Kausalyam Sumitram cha Sudukhitam, Bharato, Rajyamasadya, Kaikeyam, Paryavastitaha. Now Later, Bharata also, he'll be very grateful to Kaikeyi because of her he has got the kingdom, and he is not going to do anything for Sumitra or Kaushalya. तवैव तेजसा वीर भरतः पूजयिष्यति कौसल्यां च सुमित्रां च प्रयतो नात्र संशयः. And here, if you see, then here the title that is there, Lakshmana convinces Rama. This is actually wrong. It should be the other way around. Rama convinces Lakshmana. So here, these two verses that are there, 13 and 14, that is what Lakshmana tells Rama, and further to this, Rama, he further speaks to Lakshmana saying that you don't worry. Bharata will surely pay respects to Kaushalya and Sumitra. Kausalya vibrayadarya sahasramapi madvidan yasya sahasram gramanam sampraptam upajivanam. And anyway, she has got 1,000 villages, lot of soldiers, lot of maid servants for her, and there is no need for her to be here. There is no need for her, for Bharata to support her and so on. So you don't worry on all this. Further, Rama gives a lot of gifts to many, several gifts to, and he asks Lakshmana also to give away gifts to a lot of sages. He distributes his wealth, he gives a lot of cows and so on. Sita even gives away her ornaments. Haram cha hema sutram cha bharyayai saumya haraya rashanam cha aduna Sita datumicchati te sakhe. So to her friends and all, she gives her ornaments. Angadani vichitrani keyurani shubhani cha prayachati sukhe tubhyam bharyayai gacchati vanam. One of the friend Rama says that he calls one of his friends and says to your wife Sita is offering, as she is going to the forest, she is offering all her ornaments. Tatassa purusha vyagraha tadhanam saha Lakshmanaha dvijebhyo balavriddebhyaha kripanebhyo hyadapayat. And all the wealth, whatever Rama had, he distributes all that. Because he had to go to the forest, so obviously you have to give up on everything. So he distributes all that to people. Sachapi Ramah pratipurnamanaso mahadhanam dharma balairuparjidam niyojayamasa surijjane chirad yatarha sammana vachah prachoditaha. Rama distributed with joy. This is something which is very important. He did not give things just for the sake of giving, but he was very happy when he was giving, when he was donating to others. There was no delay at all. Whatever wealth he had, he did not even think twice. Should I give this? Should I keep little for myself? Whatever he had, he distributed everything equally. Finally, Rama goes to meet his father. People of Ayodhya do not know this news. Later, they come to know and they are all shocked. मूल्यं ह्येष मनुष्याणां धर्मसारो महाद्युतिः पुष्पं फलं च पत्रं च शाकाश्चास्येतरे जनाः. So here a very beautiful line wherein Rama is the essence of dharma. He is like a tree, is the root of humanity, of Manushya Dharma, and all the other people, they are like just fruits, roots and so on. A very beautiful comparison is made. Vanam nagarameva astu yena gacchati ragavah asmabhischa parityaktam puram sampadyatam vanam. So wherein all the people of Ayodhya say that if Rama is going to the forest only will be Ayodhya for us, and now we every one of us, we are going to leave Ayodhya, go to the forest where Rama is. प्रतीक्षमाणोऽपि जनं तदार्थं मनार्थरूपः प्रहसन्निवाथ जगाम रामः पितरं दिदृक्षुः पितुर्निदेशं विधिवच्चिकीर्षुः. And when he saw all the people were in grief, still Rama was not affected by that. He too felt bad, but he did not reveal that. And he had duty, he had some dharma which he had to follow. So with a smile he went to see his father. Now this quality of Rama has to be appreciated, because there can be so many things that come, right? Now, in fact, even if all of us, we might, first of all, we are not going to do like this or going to the forest or so. Even if we do that, we'll be very sad, right? Or maybe we'll complain and tell 100 times, you'll tell, see, because of him I'm doing this, because of him I have to suffer. So many times, like even if it is a small thing, we keep blaming people around, right? But Rama never did that. He accepted things with a smile. So this shows his character. Okay, next we continue. Finally, Sarga 34, Rama prepares himself and all three of them, they leave to the forest. Now here in between the sargas wherein Rama was speaking to Lakshmana, at that time Lakshmana, when Rama tells him that you don't speak like this regarding Ashwapati's daughter and the king of Ayodhya, don't use such terms. He tells Lakshmana all this. Then finally Lakshmana falls at the feet of Rama. He says, I cannot live even a moment without you. For a minute also I cannot live without you, and that's the reason I feel bad. Rama knows this. He tells Lakshmana, and all this, we are just seeing the gist, so we are not going too deep into this. Rama, he tells Lakshmana at this point, you first go and ask permission from your mother, from your wife Urmila. And at the time when he goes and meets Sumitra, obviously Sumitra, she tells, why are you even staying here? Already you have done a lot of delay, you have to go immediately. So that's when he leaves immediately, and now all three of them are ready. They go to meet Dasharatha. Looking at all three of them ready to go to the forest, Dasharatha faints and falls down. He tells Rama, please stay for one more night. Rama says, no, I have to go. Otherwise, anyway, if he says one night also, Rama knew that tomorrow he'll say, no, stay for one more night. Right? So that way, never ever Dasharatha is going to feel to part with Rama. So therefore he says, no, I have to go to the forest immediately. Dasharatha and Rama speak. Aham Raghava Kaikeya Varadane Namohitaha Ayodhyaya Swameva Adya Bhavaraja Nigrihyamam. Dasharatha says that I've been cheated by Kaikeyi. You please imprison me. You be the king of Ayodhya now. Nahi satyat manasthata dharma vimanasastava vinivartayitum buddhihi shakyate raghunandana. He says, you are the one who is devoted to truth and duty, so therefore I cannot stop you at all from your resolve. Rama consoles Dasharatha. Apagacchatu te dukkham ma bhurbhashpa pariplatah nahi kshubhyate durdharshaha samudras saritam patihi. He says, do not shed tears, do not grieve at all. So therefore you are like the ocean. He says, wherein the ocean is not affected. Let anything come in, ocean is not affected. It doesn't get flooded, it doesn't get dry, so nothing, it's just, it always remains calm. So therefore you are like that, always be calm. Tvamaham satyamichhami nanrutam purusha rishabha pratyaksham tava satyena sukritena chate shape. I always tell you, so Rama consoles all this to Dasharatha. He tells that always we must speak the truth and so on. You have given the boons, so I am just following my duty that you are fulfilling the boons that you have given to Kaikeyi. Pita hi daivatam tata devatanam api smritam tasma daivatamityeva karishyami piturvachaha. Father is very, very divine. Now here if you see, Ramayana speaks a lot about the importance of one's father. Why this has been told, I'll give you a reason for this. It is because in the entire Ramayana, if you see, or we have a lot of, not in the Ramayana, in general if you see, we have many texts talking about the greatness of one's mother, that is there, mother's quality or woman and so on. But the man and the father has to be equally respected. In fact, it can be, you can consider both are equal, but sometimes you can even consider one level high. The reason being, even if the mother is there, even if the lady is there, only the man is responsible for creation. If the man cannot help you, then the child will never be born, right? So there is no value for a mother at all if the father does not play his part well. So therefore, and in fact, if today we are all there, if we are alive today, though we say that I am born from my mother, the mother kept me for 9 months, our contribution no doubt we have to appreciate, but then nobody remembers the contributions of a father, right? Because if today you are alive, how much ever you say, we always have the seed of my father within me, right? How much ever you, if the seed of the father is not there, I will not be alive today. So therefore, the mother, though she is responsible for giving birth, if the seed of the father is not there, we will not be alive today. So all of us, how much ever you say, mother's qualities are there, but the father's qualities are there inside your blood. So very logically, scientifically, all of us, we have the, you can say the blood of your father is always flowing inside your body, because if not for the father, creation will not come in, you would not be alive today. So therefore, the contribution and why father is considered to be on a very high you can say, regarded with a lot of respect. This Ramayana talks about it. And further, you have also many other things that are told. Now, all of us also, so many fathers here, so many men here, you can relate. And all of us, we have fathers, wherein contribution of a mother is being told. If she wants something, she will immediately, she will tell you why you are doing like this, that. Immediately she can speak out. But a father never speaks out. He till end, maybe he might sound very harsh or so at times, but then he never expresses himself. That is what is said. And but still, till the end of one's life, the father is the one who takes care. So therefore, this contributions, the mother can be very loving also, but of course today's times there are many things that have changed in, but still the contribution of one's father, the nature of one's father. Ramayana is a text that focuses more upon that than one's mother. Mother is also there, but the qualities of a father, which is not much highlighted anywhere, that has been told and stressed upon in the Ramayana. So therefore today when we celebrate Women's Day, people should also know about Men's Day. Anyone knows when is Men's Day? Men also don't know when is Men's Day. November? No. None of you know when is Men's Day? It comes in the month of November. I give you a hint. Men at least should know when is International Men's Day.
It is 19th November.
Who googled? All of you googled, right?
I googled.
But ma'am, there is one doubt that I'm having. நீங்க சொன்னீங்க வந்து ராமருக்கும் கொஞ்சம் வருத்தம் இருந்தது that he had to go to the forest and all. But there is also a saying that he himself wanted Kaikeyi to send him to the forest. Like Sita wanted to go and live in the forest and rear her children there. He also had this, no?
No. Now when I said that he felt little bad not for going to the forest, but when he saw the people in Ayodhya crying for him, looking at that he felt bad. He did not feel...
He really wanted Kaikeyi to send him to forest, no?
See, that is, he did not want Kaikeyi to send him to the forest. He was very happy that he was being sent to the forest. So Kaikeyi was
because
just
he had to kill Ravana and all that.
That is destiny. But here always remember that Rama is a Naravatara. He is a man. He does not know. His birth has taken place for a purpose, but he forgets all that when he was born as a man. Because
unlike Krishna.
Yes. So Krishna
And
is Purnavatara.
I'm sorry to waste your time. One more thing is, was Kaushalya in some part this one Shatarupa and Dasharatha, this one Manu?
Shatarupa is told. Manu, little you have a doubt there, like whether, because it can be Dasharatha. Regarding Dasharatha, not much is told, but with Kaushalya she was Aditi and also Shatarupa. That is what is told in some references. Of course, these are all folklores. In Puranas you have these references. So how far we can consider? Aditi is okay. Kashyapa's wife Aditi. So in the Vamanavatara, Kaushalya was Aditi. This is what is told. But with Manu and Shatarupa, little you have, you can say, slight differences. Like different Puranas tell different references.
And Kaushalya was also this one Yashoda, no?
No.
And Kaikeyi.
Yashoda, yes, that's what. Even Yashoda also, it is told orally, but then through oral tradition it has been passed about. Then we don't know how far it is true. We have to think over that. Yeah.
Okay.
So mainly it's like all these references, they come in the Purana. So for sure it is there, like Aditi was reborn as Kaushalya. This is what is told. But then little, like you go like sometimes even in case of Manu and Shatarupa, Shatarupa was a wife of Manu. Sometimes they tell that she is a daughter of Manu. So little you have these references that go, you have to study deep into history. Okay, so the point is coming here. So the Ramayana, therefore, you can say that it stresses a lot about the importance of one's father and also men. So not only women but also men also. So now all the men, you should know when is International Men's Day also. So International Women's Day, everyone knows March 8th. Men's Day, 19 November. So though we don't, I think recently now the young people, maybe they knew, so maybe I knew about it. So we have now things like, maybe you go to colleges and all also, like at least it was there about 2-3 years back when I was in college. We had we used to celebrate even men's days. They used to have some function, just as we had women's day, we also had men's day. So maybe nowadays the young generation knows about it. Maybe all of you might not be that familiar. Of course, it doesn't have the hype like we have for women's day, but then at least you should know about it. Okay, so coming back. Yes.
Why we should have Women's Day and Men's Day?
This is a very good question. Every day is there. Correct.
Then every day is Men's Day.
Correct. Okay, but still, when you know.
Thank you very much. You made our day.
Okay, let's continue. So, Rama, he consoles Dasharatha. Further, Sumantra, he also pleads. Now, nobody wants Rama to live, so leave. So, Sumantra tells Kaikeyi, you please change your mind. नूनं सर्वे गमिष्यामः मार्गं रामनिषेवितं त्यक्ताया बान्धवैः सर्वैः ब्राह्मणैः साधुभिः सदा का प्रीतिराज्यलाभेन तव देवि भविष्यति तादृशं त्वममर्यादं कर्म कर्तुं चिकीर्षसि. Sumantra tells Kaikeyi. Now here Sumantra speaks to Kaikeyi. At this time you also have Vasishta who comes in. So Vasishta also speaks to Kaikeyi. And he tells Kaikeyi that you know about the nature of Rama, you know how everyone likes to spend time with Rama, and by doing all this, by asking a kingdom for Bharata, Rama is easily going to leave to the forest. You yourself know about this, and you also know that Bharata will not accept the kingdom. Now, Kaikeyi knew that Rama can easily go to the forest, so she was very confident on that. But she did not know that Bharata will not accept the kingdom. There itself she makes a very great mistake. She could not realize, in spite of being the mother of Bharata, she did not know the nature of Bharata. She felt, the first thing she was very much aware, you tell Rama, immediately he is going to listen and go. But the second boon that she asked, she was very confident that that Bharata will accept the kingdom. But then Sumantra there, he tells that if Rama goes to the forest, everyone is going to go, people of Ayodhya, relatives, Brahmins, everyone. So what you are going to get? Whom will Bharata rule? You and Bharata have to live alone with your Manthara here. What is the use of such a kingdom when the entire city will be in grief? There is no use at all, right? So therefore, and everyone is looking upon you, you have lost your respect and so on. So please think over this. Amram chitva kutharena nimbam paricharet tuyah yashchainam payasa sitchena ivasya maduro bhavet. So here what happens is, if you're cut about a mango tree, so he gives an example, like if you cut a mango tree and you grow a lemon in that place, then you keep putting it with milk or water, but still you're not going to get mangoes, right? So basically here just a comparison is made with a mango and a lemon. So you cut off a mango tree and then you grow a small lemon tree there, and then you put milk, honey, this, that, whatever you put in, still the lemon tree is going to give you sour lemons only, not sweet mangoes, right? So the same thing Sumantra here tells, that this decision, how much ever you feel that it is sweet like the mango, it is not going to take you anywhere. Ultimately, your decision is going to be very far, your results are not going to be that successful. So therefore, please think, rethink. Parivado hite devi mahaloke charishyati yadi ramo vanam yati vihaya pitaram nrapam. Anyway, if Rama goes to the forest, entire Ayodhya is going to blame you for your decision. And the entire world is going to look upon you. Who likes Kaikeyi? Nobody likes Kaikeyi. Anyone has named your children as Kaikeyi? Nobody is going to do that. In fact, when we listen to the word Kaikeyi itself, a negative feeling comes to our mind, right? So this is what Kaikeyi has achieved in her life. So Sumantra tells her that this is what is going to happen. Whereas now, most of us, when we just listen to the name of someone, say for example, I'll praise about myself. If you listen to the name Lakshmi, all of you remember me, right? Why do you remember me? I hope in a good sense. So why? Because we have not done something evil, at least. Or maybe like all of us, you remember someone amongst us. I say, okay, Anuradha ji, yes, someone is there, Anuradha ji, she comes here, she does something good, she listens to what I say, I like her, right? Or maybe Kalpana ji, something like that. You always remember people by the things that they do. Whereas now maybe someone amongst you tell me something in class or so, I didn't like that, I will always look upon you with that thing. Oh, last time this person only argued in class, I don't like you, we say, right? So this is what happened with Kaikeyi. So the name, why I gave you this example is, we do something, our actions are always associated with that. Whenever this name comes in, we remember about that person, right? So in the case of Kaikeyi that now when, so say for example, I say Lakshmi, You might have 10 Lakshmis who come to your mind because there might be 10 people. Whereas in the case of Kaikeyi, Sumantra told in such a way that you will be the only woman by the name Kaikeyi. Maybe before you, few people were named as Kaikeyi, we don't know. But after you, nobody is going to name any of their children as Kaikeyi. You will be the only one. So when we say Kaikeyi, automatically the negative feeling is going to come. Sumantra tells Kaikeyi, be aware of this, the whole world is going to dread upon you, don't do this. But still, Kaikeyi doesn't listen at all. And here you have a very beautiful story also. Here Kaikeyi and Vasishtha. Now in some references, it is said that Sumantra tells this, some references Vasishtha tells this. Sumantra, he tells Kaikeyi that your father also did this, your mother also has done the same thing. So therefore it is there in your blood. Father of Kaikeyi, Ashwapati, how he died. His wife, now Ashwapati, he knew the language of birds. The story again comes in the 35th Sarga, Ayodhya Kanda. He knew the language of birds. But then he was told that if you reveal this language, it is like a secret which you should keep it with yourself. If you reveal it to others, that minute you will die. His wife, Ashwapati's wife, Kaikeyi's mother, knew about this and she wanted to learn the language of birds. But then she also knew that her husband will die the minute he tells her. He reveals the language to her. In spite of knowing this, she kept on pestering Ashwapati, you teach me the language of birds, teach me the language of birds. He was a bit reluctant, he was a bit hesitant initially because he's going to die the next minute. And she knew this, and like Kaikeyi, she was also very stubborn. She, in spite of knowing the consequences, she did that. And she learned, somehow Ashwapati taught her the language of birds and immediately he died. This is how Kaikeyi lost her father and that lady, she lost her husband, Kaikeyi's mother. So Sumantra here says that your mother also did the same thing, that's how you lost your father. You are also doing the same thing like your mother. So don't do this, don't be stubborn in spite of knowing the consequences of what action you take today. Still if you behave that way, then it's of no use. You're bringing about your own end here and you're going to lose a lot. You are also going to lose your husband. So this is how destiny plays. Kaikeyi's mother also lost her husband and Kaikeyi also lost her husband after this incident. Next is Dasharatha. Now he knew that Rama's mind cannot be changed, but he says that I will send a lot of army, this, that with you so that you can live a very good life in the army, in the forest. Before Rama could react, immediately Kaikeyi says, what is the use? Rama should go all alone in the forest. If you send everything along with Rama, what will my Bharata get? And then what is the use of living in the forest as a Vanavasi if you are going to send everything along with him? It's of no use. It will just be that you live in the forest along with all luxuries. So it's of no use. All this cannot be done. Now here you have, if you see this verse 18 to 31, you have the story of Asamanjas. Asamanja is his name. Original name is Asamanjas. Asamanjas was an ancestor of Rama and he was the only one in the Ikshvaku or in the Raghukula who was an evil or negative character. And to the extent that he used to do so much, he used to even throw people inside the well. That was his kind of, you can say, negative behavior. But here in this context, they feel that even Asamanjas could also be borne about. Later he was sent to the forest and so on. He was abandoned by the kingdom, so ultimately he was sent away. But in this case, Kaikeyi is such an element. She herself is staying in the kingdom, she is sending others away. So her effects are actually, everyone is going to be affected by her actions, by her behavior. But at least in the case of Asamanjas, though his behavior was inappropriate, at the right time he was banished from the kingdom. So therefore, not much, you can say, the effects were seen. Though he was a negative character, after people knew about him, the king actually abandoned him. So even Asamanjas also being an evil fellow, he was abandoned, but now this Kaikeyi is still worse than him. Now Dasharatha, he says, Dhanyakoshascha yaf kaschid dhanakoshascha mamakaha taurama manugacchetam vasantam nirjane vane. He tells, let the granary, food items, treasury, everything should follow. Bharatascha mahabahu ayodhyam palayashyati sarvakamai sahashriman ramas sansadhyatamiti. Let Bharata rule, but Rama should have all the objects of all the luxuries. Here, Kaikeyi gives an example. She compares Rama with Asamanjas. Tavaiva vamshe sagaro jeshtam putramuparudat asamanja itikyatam tatayam gantumarhati. Just as Sagara banished his own son Asamanjas to the kingdom, to the forest, you should also do the same. Now here itself Kaikeyi shows her character. Asamanjas, such a negative character, he was banished from the kingdom for his evil actions, for his negative behavior. Rama, being such a holy person, is being banished from his kingdom for something which he has never done, for no wrong that he did. But still Kaikeyi is such a foolish lady, she compares Rama with Asamanjas. Now Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, they wear bar garments. आत्मा हि दारा सर्वेषां दारसङ्ग्रहवर्तिनाम् आत्मेयमिति रामस्य पालयिष्यति मेदिनीम्. Here people say that okay, let Rama go to the kingdom. If Rama goes, Sita can still rule, because as per the Dharma Shastras, this is Dharma Sukshma principle that have been mentioned about Raja Dharma in our scriptures. Wife is the soul. So if Rama is sent to the forest, still Sita can rule over this earth. She can still become the queen and rule. नह्यदत्ता महीं पित्रा भरतश्शास्तुमर्हति त्वयिवा पुत्रवद्वस्तुं यदि जातो महीपतेः. And at the same time, here some points are highlighted wherein Bharata anyway will not rule. If he is truly born to Dasharatha, if he is truly a son of Raghukula, Suryavamsha, and a person who is very stringent on dharma, he will not rule the kingdom, which has not been given to him by his father. Because he has already an elder brother, Dasharatha has not handed over the kingdom to him, so he will not do. Nor he will live like a son to you. All this is already predicted. That's the reason why later when Bharata comes to know everything, he leaves Kaikeyi, telling that from this minute onwards, I will not even regard you as my mother. So all this is already mentioned here. तत्त्वया पुत्रगर्धिन्या पुत्रस्य कृतमप्रियं लोके हि स न विद्येत यो न राममनुव्रतः. So Dasharatha also, Sumantra also, everyone tells Kaikeyi that ultimately you are the one who is causing harm to your own son. Everyone will look upon Bharata. Bharata is actually going to lose a lot. And there is none who is not going to follow Rama. He is also going to do the same thing. Now finally, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. Now here you have the story that is there, wherein those bar garments, all this is there inside stories that are there. So when the bar garments were given, immediately Rama and Lakshmana, they go and change. Sita, now the bar garments that are there, the orange color robes, Sita, it seems that she did not know how to wear that. Because it is a special type of a sari that is there, not like the normal sari which the princess used to wear. And she was always used to wearing those heavy garments, heavy clothes, full of very rich clothes. So she did not know how to wear bar garments. And at that time, Arundhati was there, Vasishta's wife Arundhati. She was present there, and she tells along with Sita, she accompanies Sita. And Sita at that time tells her, oh, I don't know to wear these bar garments. She just makes a statement. Arundhati just accompanies her, and Manthara at that time, Kaikeyi Manthara, she is very smart. She tells, yes, I will teach you how to wear those bar garments. I will guide you. Immediately before anyone could react, Manthara, she follows Sita and she tells, I will teach you how to wear. Because Manthara was also reluctant. She wants quickly Rama, Lakshmana and Sita to leave Ayodhya. Manthara goes and teaches Ayodhya. Immediately she helps. Arundhati also follows. She was very rude to Sita. And she tells Sita that all these royal robes, all the ornaments, everything that you have worn, remove everything. Throw it on the ground, she says. At that time, Arundhati was luckily present there. She told that she will change from the royal robes to the bar garments that are given. She will not remove her ornaments, because for a woman to remove her ornaments is a sign, is a very bad sign, and there is no reason why she should remove her ornaments and so on. So this Manthara does not like, because she wanted everything, whatever she could steal and get, she wanted all of that, but unfortunately she could not get things because Arundhati was there. So Sita, she changes into bar garments, but then her ornaments remain intact. And later, as destiny had to play, it was helpful when Sita had to throw down all her ornaments for the monkeys, and ultimately Rama, Lakshmana, they could find Sita. So then Sita also changes and she comes. And Dasharatha sees all three of them, Rama and Lakshmana he sees, but he could not bear to see the sight of Sita and bar garments. So, and this is the reason why women should always be dressed well. If a woman is not dressed well, immediately we go and ask, right, why you are not dressing well, right? We are not feeling well, or so on. Or why even women start dressing, even if there is a small occasion or so, we dress up well and then only we go, right? Why do we do that? men don't take a lot of time to dress up, or in fact they don't need that much, but women always, they dress up well. Maybe it takes a lot of time and you have a lot of people complaining around, but still, from where all this started is the Ramayana reference. So looking at Sita this way, and that too she was a princess, she was a queen, so obviously she is, can say, well dressed, always lot of ornaments, lot of jewels, royal robes, and seeing her in bar garments, Dasharatha could not bear this sight. And he cries about, he tells that, you please don't ask Sita to go to the forest this way, and I cannot bear to see Sita like this. He further cries, saying that, what will I tell Janaka? Janaka doesn't even know about this. He has born you as a princess. He sent me. I have also always regarded you as my daughter. I cannot see you this way. Dasharatha cries about. Further, Rama, he tells Dasharatha, please take care of Kaushalya when I am not there. Dasharatha asks Sumantra that you leave Rama and come at least. And Sita has also given some ornaments to wear. Kaushalya advises Sita a lot about Pati Dharmam. She says that wherever you stay in the forest, be careful and so on, follow your husband and so on. All that Sukshma. All these advice Kaushalya gives Sita. Rama worships Kaushalya and all the 350 mothers who were assembled before leaving. So Dasharatha had 350 queens. Rama worships all of them. He pays homage to all of them. And finally he leaves. Gahana karmano gatihi. That means karma, the law of karma. Why today, if we are facing something, it is because of our past actions. This is what is told. Kaushalya thinks about all this. Manye, Dasharatha and Kaushalya, they think about all this. Manye khalu maya purvam vivatsa bhavav kritaha pranino himsita vapi tasmadidam upastitam. Dasharatha tells this to Kaushalya, the story of Shravan Kumara. In the past, I have separated the child, the boy Shravan, from his blind parents, if you know the story of that. And that's when his parents, they cursed me that I will also be separated from my son. I think this curse has now come upon me. Ekasya khali kaikeyaha kriteyam krishyate janaha swarte prayatamanaayaha samshritya nikritim tvimam. So many people are made to suffer. And now the suffering has just started. In future, many other people are going to be affected only because of this one Kaikeyi. वासांसि च महाराणि भूषणानि वराणि च वर्षाणि एतानि संख्याय वैदेह्याक्षिप्रमाणय. The 14 years the princess was going to live in the forest, give her all kinds of ornaments. Sa sujatani vaidehi prastita vanam bhushayama sagatrani tairvichitrair vibhushanaihi. She accepted all those ornaments and she also got ready to leave for the forest. Now, little Subhashidas are told that talk about the nature of Kaikeyi. क्षुद्रतृट् आशाः कुटुम्बिन्या मयि जीवति न अन्यगाः तस्मादाशा महासाध्वी कदाचित् मां न मुञ्चति. Desire is something which never leaves a person. That's the reason today we need something. Okay, you go and buy that. Maybe by evening your mind changes, you have desire for something else. We look at things, immediately we feel that I should also have this. Same thing is told even here. So, here, this happened in the case of Kaikeyi. She was attracted towards, you can say, the riches that she had. She remembered the boons, and mainly it was influence that are there, and influence of Manthara mainly, and that's how Kaikeyi changed her mind. कोन्दो यो कार्यरतः को बधिरो यो हितानि न शृणोति को मूको यः काले प्रियाणि वक्तुं न जानाति. Who is blind? Not one who is not blessed with eyesight, but one who, in spite of seeing what he is doing is wrong, cannot see the calamity that is awaiting. That such a person is blind. He is deaf who does not listen to good advice. No use of ears if you cannot listen to someone, things that are happening good around you. And who does not speak the truth, who does not speak good words, such a person is actually dumb. So these are all Subhashitas that are told with regards to Kaikeyi's behavior. प्रायं सम्प्रतिकोपाय सन्मार्गस्योपदेशनं विलूननासिकस्येव यद्वदादर्शदर्शनम्. So when someone is angry, if you give any advice, still it is going to increase, right? Because a person, when at the time of anger you keep advising a person, the person will end up doing more wrong. So that's the reason advice should not be given when a person is angry. When a person cools down, then you speak something, that is fine. Madhupashyati moodatma prapatam naiva pashyati karoti ninditam karma narakanna bibheti cha. Like Kaikai saw this. Whenever you see some, now here an example of a honeycomb is given. Whenever we see something very attractive, but you don't see the danger in front, then obviously you don't see that you're going to fall into that, obviously you will fall into the calamity. Like Kaikai here, who saw only the temporary pleasures that she will get right now, she forgets to see the dangers that are associated, the future consequences that will take place. रागो नाम मनश्लश्यं गुणद्रविणतस्करः राहुर्विद्या शशाङ्कस्य तपोवनहुताशनः. So desire is something, it is like a thief, it is like Rahu who eats the moon during eclipse, and the fire that burns tapasya, that is the fire which will burn a garden like a forest fire. So desire, the main problem, the root cause of the Ramayana, Rama's Vanavasa, Dashratha's grief was Kaikeyi's desires that brought about this problem. So a few Subhashidas just to highlight this. Further, finally Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they leave to the forest. Sumitra advises a few things to Lakshmana. She tells, व्यसनी वा समृद्धो वा गतिरेष तवानघ एष लोके सतां धर्मो यज्जेष्टवशगो भवेत्. Your only duty now is to be obedient to your elder brother. Lakshmana doesn't even need this advice, but still Sumitra tells him, Ramam Dasharatham vidhi mam vidhi janakatmajam ayodhyam atavim vidhi gacchata tayata sukham. Very, very important words of the Ramayana as well as very popular words. She tells, Rama is Dasharatha for you, Sita is myself, that is Sumitra for you, the forest is Ayodhya, my child. Now Tata has got two meanings. Tata also means father, Tata also means child. In this context it is for a son. She says, please go happily, in peace you please depart. Now here an instance come. It is not very much clearly mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana, but it is still there, wherein Lakshmana, he goes to meet Urmila, his wife. Rama had told him, you go and first ask Urmila and Sumitra and then you can decide. If they allow you, you can come. So, and this time he goes and meets Urmila also. Before they make all those preparations, she also gets the news and then she tells that I will also come to the forest. Lakshmana tells, if you come here, who will take care of Kaushalya? This is what he asks. Why Kaushalya? Why he did not even think about his own mother? Can anyone answer this? Lakshmana at that time tells Urmila that you have to take care of Kaushalya. His own mother is there, right, Sumitra? Why he did not mention that? Anyone knows the answer?
Because Sita and Rama are considered to be parents, like Sumitra tells him that Rama is your mother and the father and Sita is your mother. So it's your duty to take care of them when they are during their period of exile in the forest.
Okay. What
That
else?
is why even when he consumed the payasam also he consumed a bit later in the early stages. Early when the payasam occurs, so that Lakshmana is born to serve these people.
Yeah, that is there.
One more thing is Rama and Sita are not there to take care of Kausalya. That's
Correct.
why she feels that she
Yes.
should.
So this is a very apt answer, wherein Rama and Lakshmana, both of them are not there. Sita, Kaushalya has got none. Sumitra was already blessed with Shatrughna and his wife Shrutakirti. Both were there in the forest. That is, both were there in the kingdom. Sorry. So that is the reason why Lakshmana, he tells that you please take care of Kaushalya, because Kaushalya has lost her son, lost her daughter-in-law also. None is there beside her. Therefore, you should take care of Kaushalya. And at the same time, Sumitra was a very wise lady. She knew she had a good control over her emotions too, over her feelings, and at the same time, obviously, she had Shatrughna and Shrutakirti. Both were there, even though Lakshmana is not there. Both of them were there, so therefore he did not tell this to Urmila. But still, Urmila at that time, she questions. She tells that Rajadharmam or Pati Dharmam Sita has been following. When will I follow that? When will I get a chance to do this? Even I want to serve you. If you are going to the forest, I should also serve you, right? That is my dharma now. I should also follow you. Lakshmana at this time, it seems that he gets angry for a minute. And angry in a sense, he just tells in a high tone that he tells Urmila, you don't question me all these things because I don't have answers. If you remember, I had told you in the previous lectures only, before Lakshmana and Urmila were about to get married, they meet in a Vatika. And at that time itself, Lakshmana was not ready to marry Urmila, and he tells her that I am born to serve Rama, my life is fully for him, I have given everything to him, so I will not be able to do justice to you. That's the reason why I don't want to be married. At that time, Urmila promises that I will never complain. So here Lakshmana tells her that is the reason why before marriage itself I told you that you need not marry me, because I am born to serve my father. I am born to serve my brother. I cannot do justice to you. So therefore, Urmila she tells, sorry, I should not have asked you this. So I will stay in the forest. And at that time, Lakshmana he tells that I know it is very difficult. I can think from your point too, but then you have to stay here. You stay Kaushalya, and I will return back after 14 years. And for these 14 years, whenever I depart, I don't want to see your crying face. I always want to see you smiling. This is what he tells her. It becomes very difficult for Urmila to see her husband go, that too with a smiling face. So he tells her that I'll carry your smiling face with me. I will always remember that face, and you can also always remember me. So this is a conversation that takes place between Lakshmana and Urmila, and we have to always remember the sacrifice made by Urmila. It's very, very difficult. In fact, Sita, even though she went to the forest, she always had her husband along. Even Mandvi's contribution and sacrifice. Sorry? Unmuted by mistake. Okay. Mandvi's contribution also we have to remember. In spite of Bharata being very nearby, still he lived in Nandigrama and she had to live all alone, right? And Urmila, she could not even see her husband for 14 years. So whenever we look at the main characters of the Ramayana, Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, but still the contributions of all these princesses, Urmila, Mandvi also are very much, you can say, we have to appreciate them. Maybe we don't look at them as an important character, but their contributions are in fact more sometimes than the main characters. Okay. So ultimately now Lakshmana also departs to the forest. Sumantra, he predicts something. He says, finally Sumantra takes Rama, Lakshmana and Sita along. He could not drive the chariot at all because it is crowded, all the people are standing around. Ramo yahiti sutam tam drishteti sajanastada ubhayam na shakat sutaha kartumadhvani choditaha. Rama tells you, drive fast, otherwise we cannot leave. All the people are never going to leave us. But still, the chariot, all the citizens are shouting, don't go, don't go. They are in the middle. The charioteer did not know what to do. Ishteti raja chukrosha yahi ahiti ragavaha sumandrasya babhuva ma chakrayori vachantara. The king is crying from inside, stay, stay, don't go. While Rama is saying, go, go, go. So Sumantra is confused. Should I listen to the king? Should I listen to the people of Ayodhya? Should I listen to Rama? What should I do? He's fully confused. Citizens all start crying. Kaushalyaya mahateja yatha matari vartate tatha yo vartate sma so mahatma kvanugacchati. All of them cry. The same person who treated us like he treated his own mother Kaushalya. So you see, Rama did not even discriminate among the citizens of Ayodhya, and that is the reason they had a lot of respect towards Rama. And now they are crying, where is he going? Na agnihotranyho hanta na pachan grihamedinaha akurvannah prajah karyam suryashtantaradhiyata. It is said that householders, the Agnihotra, now in those times this shows that all of them were doing the Agnihotra Yajna very, very seriously. Today's times also all householders should do the Agnihotra. In fact, daily. You have a few people today who do the Agnihotra, but not many. Agnihotram is very, very important, which should be done by all householders. And how it is done is, the Agni, the Homa that we do during the marriage, the same Agni is brought home. So on your day of marriage, the Agni is brought home to your house from the sacrificial fire, the same Agni is brought home. That you have to preserve it lifelong, 24 hours. lifelong you have to present it. That is Agnihotra sacrifice. And towards the end, when you die, the same fire is used to burn you. Your son uses the same fire to burn the fire. So that's how this is Agnihotra sacrifice, which is done to preserve Agni. So all the householders there in Ayodhya used to follow, but that day they did not follow that. They did not cook food. They did not do anything. The people did not even do their daily chores, daily work and everything, and the sun set. So basically it was a very dark day. Astrological predictions also, a very bad time was about to come in. Now all this shows that astrology is a science. Jyotisham is a science. Astrology, astronomy, planetary positions, this reference comes in the Ramayana. Trishankurlohitangascha brihaspati budavapi daruna so mamabhyetya grahas sarve vyavastitaha. Maybe because all of us, we are not much familiar with Jyotisham, this might not make much sense to us, but still planetary positions do matter because it is a science in itself. Now sometimes we feel what some planet moves about here and there in the sky, what effect does it have on us? Let's not comment on this because we don't know about it, but there is a science in itself because Ramayana also has got some reference, and those who know about Jyotisha Shastra, they can come to good conclusions on this. But at the same time, it doesn't make any sense to say that okay, everything has to be, we should not blame things on destiny also. My Rahu is causing some trouble in sky, that's the reason I have a lot of problems in earth. It's not like that. You do something to find solutions for your problems, that is better. But then still, Jyotisham is a science in itself. If we study that in detail, we'll know. So here you have a few planets, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury and other fierce planets who are there. Shani dosha and all that we say. So when Rama departs to the forest, all these fierce planets take their positions. Akshatrani gatam gatar chim shri grahascha gata tejasaha vishakhastu sadumasya nabasi prachakashire. Vishakha nakshatra appears in the sky and all the planets, everything. Planets start losing their position, stars start losing their shine. Even the Vishakha nakshatra is all in smoke. So basically even the sky also could not bear the departure of Rama. Dashratha, he had gone till the outskirts, that is outside his kingdom, and then finally he returns back and he starts imagining. He disowns Kaikeyi. He tells, from today onwards I give up, I do not consider you my queen. He imagines the plight of Rama in the forest and he returns back to the city. He goes to Kaushalya's palace. Kaikeyi mamamangani sprakshi svam dushtacharini nahi tvam drashtumichhami navarya nacha bandhavi. From this minute onwards, you are not my wife, you are not related to me, and so on. You do not even stand near me, he says. Ye chatvam anujivanti naham tesham nate mama kevalartha param hitvam tyakta dharmam tyajamyaham. So your relatives also, they have got nothing to do with me, or so selfish, you don't have anything with regards to dharma. So from this minute onwards, I give up on you. So you see Kaikeyi's plight. Dasharatha also leaves her, Bharata also leaves her. So this is like a life lesson to us. Whatever we do, whatever decisions you take or whatever actions we do, we have to always think about the future consequences. This minute things might seem that okay, whatever I am doing, the results will be very good, but then we must always think about future. Kaikeyi did not do this. That too, in the case of Kaikeyi, it's not that she was an evil woman, but the influence of Manthara left her in this position. Agrinnam yachate panim agnim pariyanayam chayat anujana mitat sarvam asmin loke paratracha. Panigrahanam, that we do during marriage, he says that I give up upon that, and not only in this world but also in the next world. So he says, therefore I renounce, I give up on this relationship that I have. Bharataschet pratitasya rajyam prapyedamavyayam yadme sadadya pitrartham mamam taddattamagamat. If Bharata also accepts this kingdom, then all the offerings that he will do when he does the karma to me, Shraddha karma, that will not even reach me. But so this, the reference he has already made earlier also, if you remember last time we saw. So Bharata, but ultimately he does not accept the kingdom, therefore he was only one who did the karma first. Sakama bhava Kaikeyi vidhava rajyamavasa nahidam purushabhyagram vinajivitumutsahi. Without Rama, I also do not wish to live. You will turn into a widow very soon. Kaushalya also feels bad. विवास्य रामं सुभगालब्धकामा समाहिता त्रासयिष्यति मां भूयो दुष्टा हि भवेश्मनि. Now Kaushalya, she thinks of all these thoughts come to her mind, but please remember, though such thoughts came to her, though she felt very bad, she never gave up on Kaikeyi. In fact, later when Kaikeyi realizes, at that time Kaushalya was very much there to support her. She never banished Kaikeyi, she never spoke evil of her. Of course, yes, these thoughts come to her mind, but this doesn't mean that Kaushalya gave up on Kaikeyi. So she tells, now having banished Rama, she is very happy. निसंशयं मया मन्ये पुरा वीरकदर्यया पातु कामेषु वत्सेषु मातॄणां शातितास्तनाः. So here, now all this is dosha. Whenever it is as if you are stopping a child, a calf, from drinking milk from a cow's udder. So maybe I would have done this, Papa. It seems that's the reason why I have to face all this. I have to face separation from my son. So Kaushalya is also plunged in grief. That's the reason such thoughts come to her mind. Sumitra, but she consoles Kaikeyi. यस्तवार्ये गतः पुत्रः त्यक्त्वा राज्यं महाबलः साधु कुर्वन् महात्मानं पितरं सत्यवादिनं शिष्टौराचरिते सम्यक् शश्वत् प्रेत्य फलोदये रामो धर्मे सितश्रेष्ठो न शशोच्यः कदाचन. Sumitra consoles Kaushalya and tells that your son has renounced the kingdom, he has gone to the forest and he has followed the path of dharma, which the worlds and everyone in future are going to remember. So therefore don't feel bad for the grief which has come in. You always think about the results and the pride and the praise which Rama is going to get in future. So therefore such a great son you have got, you should not grieve over this. कीर्तिभूतां पताकाम्यो लोके भ्रमयति प्रभुः धर्मसत्यव्रतधनः किं न प्राप्तस्तवात्मजः. What is that which your son has not got? He has got dharma, he has got truth, everything. All the people are giving him so much respect. In fact, when he left to the forest, you see so many people ran behind him. So your son has got everything, do not grieve. Finally, Rama reaches the banks of Tamasa. All the people have followed him there and they do not return back. And they all plead to stay back. Rama speaks to all of them. Ya priter bahumanashcha maya yodhya nivasinam mat priyartham visheshena bharate sa niveshyata. He tells the people, all the love and respect that you have on me, you please show that to Bharata too. Sahi kalyana charitraha kaikeya nandavardhanaha karishyati yathavadvaha priyani cha hitani cha. He is a follower of dharma, he has got a very good character and he will do everything for your benefit, so you please return back and accept him as your king. Jnanavriddho vayo balo mridur virya gunanvitaha anurupas savo bharta bhavishyati bhayapaha. He has got all the good qualities of a king, he will protect you. Sahiraja gunaidhyukto yuvarajas samikshitaha apichapi maya shishtaihi karyam vo bhartrashasanam. He has got all kingly qualities and he is the right prince. Therefore, as I obeyed the orders of the king, all of you also please do that. Listen to the orders of Bharata. And finally now, when all the citizens are asleep, Rama tells Sumantra, you drive the chariot so that all three of us we will leave without making noise, so that, and ride the chariot in such a way that even the footprints of the horse cannot be seen and none of the people can follow us behind. You see here the last line, verses 24 to 35, Sarga 46 Ayodhya Kandam, wherein Rama, he tells Sumantra to ride the chariot in such a way to leave confusing marks. So the footprints were in such a way, they were in a crisscross manner. So they didn't know where the horse, in which direction the horse went left or right, how it was. So in a very confusing manner, Sumantra rode the chariot. Bharatah khalu dharmatma pitaram mataram chame dharmartaka masahitai vakyairashvasayishyati. Rama will take care of all the parents who are left back in Ayodhya. Bharatasya drisham sattvam vichintyaham punah punaha nanushochami pitaram mataram chapi Lakshmana. So all this Rama is telling to Lakshmana. He tells that we don't have to care about anything in Ayodhya till Bharata is there. He will take care of everything. यथैते नियमं पौराः कुर्वन्त्यस्मिन् निवर्तने अपि प्राणान् न्यसिष्यन्ति न तु त्यक्ष्यन्ति निश्चयम्. So now looking at the citizens, Rama tells Lakshmana and Sumantra that these people, they are ready to even give up their lives for me. They are not ready to return back. So let us take a decision. Tomorrow early morning we will leave without making noise. Yavadev tu samsuptaha tavadev vayam lagu ratamaruhya gacchamaha panthanamakuto bhayam. While they are asleep, quickly let us leave. पौराह्यात्मकृता दुःखाद् विप्रमोचा नृपात्मजैः न तु खल्वात्मना योज्या दुःखेन पुरवासिनः. Prince, that is, it can be in the context of Bharata here or in the case of Rama. Rama tells generally that we should not trouble the citizens. They should not suffer. Why should they follow us to the forest? My father has told me, my mother has told me, I should do that. They need not come to the forest and suffer for my sake. Therefore, we should not make them suffer. Let us leave silently. So finally, Rama, Lakshmana and Sita leave along with Sumantra. The citizens, they wake up, they find that all of them have left. Dhigastu khalu nidrantam yayam paratacetasaha natyapashyamahe ramam pitruraskam mahabhujam. They say, just 1 second. Okay, so here all the citizens, what they do is they blame sleep. They say because of Nidra, we were engrossed in sleep, we did not know when Rama left us and now we are not able to see him. Ihaiva nidanamya maha prasthanameva va ramena rahitanam hi kimartham jeevitam hinaha. They say we will all die here, we don't want, what will we do without Rama, this life is of no use. So looking at all this, you see even the nature of the people of Ayodhya. It's not needed. Now all of us, even if our own family member dies, do we die? We don't die, right? Or we don't even feel. Maybe for a few days we feel, you can say, we feel sad. Now I'm not saying that if someone dies we have to also die. It's not like that. But then our level of sorrow, we feel that maybe for a few days. In the course of time what happens is, sorrow ultimately goes away. Maybe if today we lose a near one, maybe for a few days you will feel bad. Maybe you don't feel like doing anything, you're plunged in grief, maybe you're in sorrow, you keep crying. Slowly as time goes about, maybe after 6 months, the sorrow that I'm undergoing today and the sorrow that I face after 6 months, that will be less, right? Maybe on day 1 how much I felt bad, the same amount of sorrow is not there after 6 months. After 1 year it still reduces. Like this, it keeps on. As time goes about, sorrow, it leaves us and goes, right? But this people of Ayodhya, it seems that sorrow never left them till Rama came back. That was the amount, and that too Rama is a king. He's not even a blood relation to them, but this is the amount of love and respect that they have towards Rama. And they say, Santishishkani kashtani prabhutani mahanti cha taif prajwalya chitam sarve pravishamo tapavakam. They say there are a lot of wood here, logs of wood, let us make a pyre and we'll all enter into it. ततो यथागतेनैव मार्गेण क्लान्तचेतसः अयोध्या मार्गमान् सर्वे पुरीं व्यतितसज्जना. But then all this they feel, but ultimately they knew that what they were doing was wrong and they all returned back to Ayodhya. All the ladies are sad, they don't feel like doing anything, and या पुत्रं पार्थिवेन्द्रस्य प्रवासयति निर्घृणा कस्तां प्राप्य सुखं जीवेद अधर्म्यां दुष्टचारिणी. They say now under the control of Kaikeyi and Bharata, under the control of Kaikeyi mainly, who wishes to live now? She did not have even one compassion and karuna for the same child, for the same Rama whom she used to consider supreme. She used to cry for him, she used to love being around him. Who will live with her now, who has grown so unrighteous? Opatradamidam sarvam analam bhavanayakam Kaikeya hi krite sarvam vinashamupayasyati. The entire kingdom is in ruins now. We don't have a good leader also. We don't wish to live here. Further Rama, he travels further. Rama, he crosses a lot of rivers. Kadaham punaragamya saravya pushpite vane mragaya paryatishyami matra pitra cha sangataha. As he leaves Sarayu, as he leaves Ayodhya and goes about, he feels bad. while leaving this place, and he says that when will I return back, when will I reunite with my parents, when will I come and see this bank of Sarayu, and so on. And in the Shringaberapura, he meets Guha there, on the banks of the river Ganga. Guha was Rama's childhood friend. Swagatam te mahabaho taveyam akhilamahi vayam presya bhavan bharata sadhurajyam prasadinaha. Guha welcomes Rama to his land. Bhaksham bhojam cha peyam cha lehyam chedamupastitam shayanani cha mukhyani vajinam khadaram cha te. Bhaksham bhojam peyam. Bhaksham meaning you bite and eat something. Bhojam you chew and eat something. Peyam drinking. Lehyam licking. So all kinds of food he had kept. This is what is the meaning. He says all kinds of food have been kept. I have made an excellent bed also. For horses also can be served. So everything is good. Please stay here. Yatvidam bhavata kinchit pritya samupakalpitam sarvam tadanujanami nahi bharte pratigrahe. Rama says, whatever you have offered me, I cannot take that because now I am on a mission. I have to go to the forest immediately now, so I cannot accept anything. Kushachira jinadaram phalamula shinam chama vidya pranihitam dharme tabasam vanagocharam. So he says, I am an ascetic now. I have to just wander in the forest. Whatever I get, I have to consume. I cannot lead a life like this. So this shows the character of Rama. If needed, he could have accepted, right? Who's going to see? As if Kaikeyi is going to come and see what I am doing in the forest. He could have spent a nice life in the kingdom of Guha only. All 14 years they could have stayed there happily. Or maybe in one of the hermitages of a sage they could have lived. They did not do that. So Rama, this shows the character of Rama. But he was very much truthful. Now all of us, what we do, who is saying let us do? Who is saying what I am doing? I'll do anything and go about it, right? But he did not do this. It was not that he was following the rules just because someone is seeing me or someone is having a control on me. It was not like that. He was very much true to his words. He said that no, for 14 years I am living like an ascetic, so I have to follow the same rules. Ashvanam khadanenarham arthina nena kenachit etavata bhavata bhavishyami supujitaha. I just need fodder for the horses, you just give, nothing more. And if you do this, that itself is great. So with this, let us stop here. Time is up. Next, what happens, how they proceed further, how they reach the bank of the Ganga, let's see next.